Welcome to today's session. The meeting, we are focusing today on natural nutrition and how we are going to allow more natural nutrition to be absorbed by the body. So we all eat soaked nuts. We all have protein, not we all, but many of us have this concern about protein intake when the protein in the body is required, especially for children growing up and for workout athletes. The question is also raised about certain nutritional supplements which are supposed to support us, and sometimes we are taking them regularly so that we have this buffer zone, so that even before the nutritional levels go down, the vitamin or mineral levels go down, we want to give a buffer zone so that we have the nutrition in buffer quantities. And so first thing I want to discuss is like nuts and seeds and this the nutrition supplements and the protein intake question. Where does the protein come from, right? And also this protein powder that is advised for vegan protein and plant protein, also the same thing. The next thing I want to discuss today is about food combination, how the body absorbs nutrition, which is the right environment for the body to absorb, and what it needs for the best absorption. Even if you're putting 10 grams of protein in your food, if it is absorbed completely, then that's a success. But let's say you have put 1,000 grams, but it wasn't absorbed. And instead, trying to absorb it, the body lost 100 grams. So this is not very smart nutrition. So we're going to talk about smart ways of adding nutrition in our body naturally. And food preparation, food combination, food preparation, and the best timing to have different food categories. So my name is Moonstar. Welcome to this wholeness session. And we are always looking at advertisements, at newspaper articles to guide us about our own bodies. But I have a request that why don't we listen to that which that who knows the body the longest. That is ourselves, because we have been with the body the longest. So we know actually when something is imbalanced, and we kind of know how to bring it back into balance if we trust ourselves. So one of the first things that happens when we wake up is a need to eat something only when we are hungry. We have all gone to school at 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m., 8 a.m. without any hunger, force feeding of paratha and bread and other kinds of things early morning without any exercise. And we really wanted to sleep because we had we were young and we didn't want to wake up so early. So one, we are losing our sleep. Two, we are eating without hunger. So both these things did not work well for us in our childhood. So I want to introduce how today we can correct this imbalance with eating in the morning with hunger. So when we have hunger, that means the body is ready to digest. And making the body and the body, when we wake up in the morning, the first thing after we have worked out what we want to have is always something sweet. And we end up having things like karele ka juice, bitter gourd juice, neem leaf juice, methi seeds water, like things we've been told we should have for adding some kind of nutrition to us, right? And some kind of SOS help to prevent diseases or heal diseases, so-called, that we have. So if I give you a mango or a banana or apple, what do you feel like having? This or bitter gourd juice in the morning? Apple, obviously, right? But we have been denying this natural urge, and we want to have something called the Baba Ramdev have told us, or whoever has told us, that we need to have this neem leaf juice, which is very bitter, in order to clean our body. The natural instinct in the morning when we are hungry should be honored, which is to have something which is completely sweet and natural. Not, we don't need to have a halwa in the morning, right? Like ghee filled, overcooked sweet dessert. That's also very, very heavy, right? Instead, what we need to have is something which is sweet in nature, which has energy, which is sweet means energy, and which has fiber, which is our fruits. That's the only food which is whole, complete in itself. But the diabetes question comes in, whether I can have the sweet, any kind of fruit, because I have diabetes. So I want to introduce that the people that have been having fruits who had diabetes actually had to leave insulin and leave their different kinds of medicines, because on whole food, when body was having the fiber along with the sweetness of the fruit, it was able to assimilate and digest very nicely, very quickly. There was no residue left, which we call, every food leaves a residue, whether it's alkaline or acidic. It's called ash, right? Now, in the case of refined flour, your maida, your wheat, anything, even wheat which is whole, has a very high rate, a very high amount of sugar today. Or any semolina, like in the morning, everybody is trying to prepare idlis from semolina, suji, calling it very whole. Ayurvedic doctors are prescribing it. Hey guys, welcome, welcome. Please switch on your videos so that it's easier for me to connect. Thank you. So what we are doing with our food is, we are not doing what we know, and we are doing what we don't know, because someone has told us that diabetes, you cannot eat you cannot eat fruits because they are too sweet. But there is, like I have done with my own mother, she has taken the sugar test before starting a 1 month long only raw fruits and salads diet. Only she went raw to heal herself. And we did this test because there was some doubt in her mind. And the sugar level after 1 month of having 10 to 14 mangoes a day, 10 to 14 mangoes a day, Arshdeep, and the sugar level came at the one that should be 100 came at 99. And there was concern why it's 99. I said, that's okay, but at least it's not above. So what did the body do? Body metabolizes the fruits very easily when they are eaten in the right manner. Ashti, when we are combining it with milk, milk does not allow digestion of anything that's mixed with it. Anything, especially fruits and vegetables, it will not allow it. That is the animal protein, that is the quality of animal food. It is so heavy to digest that anything else, especially milk mixed with it, will curdle. So hence we get gas, bloating, or we get any kind of imbalance. That could be the blood sugar, and we are attributing it to fruit, but it's not. It's because of the milk. So let me share what happens when we have refined sugar. Refined sugar or jaggery. Jaggery is not whole. As we understand, wholeness comes from the plant directly, the original source. Jaggery is reduced by making the juice of sugarcane and then brewing it, reducing it, and making it into jaggery. So any food that's not whole, even oil, even jaggery, even tea, coffee, chocolate, anything from which fiber was removed, coconut milk, anything from which fiber was removed, what happens to that food? It becomes acidic. Why? Because it requires more energy from the body to digest. If I tell you, Anshu, that you run for 2 kilometers, okay, that's your capacity. You did your 2 kilometers. Now, if I tell you, Rita, go and run for 5 kilometers, without preparation, you will get tired and your body will get acidic. That is what happens with movement. Movement creates acidity. Any function that we do, whether it's digestion, thinking, speaking, breathing, creates a weak acid in the body, which is neutralized by rest. But if you overwork continuously, especially the digestive system, Arshdeep, especially putting oil, putting with foods which are not whole, like what is not whole? Jaggery is not whole, tea is not whole, coffee is not whole. What else we are taking every day which is not whole? Milk. It's not whole because it doesn't have the fiber. That much grass the cow, the horse, the goat has chewed, and that they have created as a food for their offspring, which is very concentrated in the type of protein that their species needs to grow. Human species needs to double the weight in how much time? 180 days. How much time the calf needs to double the weight? 45 days. So milk of cow is very, very concentrated. It's not a whole food. Oil is not a whole food. And if you're taking refined sugar, oil is refined. Let's just, even people say coconut oil, olive oil, it doesn't have fiber. And if you're taking on a daily basis, what is happening? Body is working harder. Anytime you are putting more pressure on one organ, which is kidney, liver, knees, anything, it will collapse. You keep jumping, the whole day keep jumping. That is a form of not capital punishment, but a form of torture in prisons. They keep you standing. So at the end of the day, your knees, your ankles, everything suffers because you've overused it. So using eyes all day long, using eyes, not sleeping, you're overusing. Let's say you're sleeping, but you're using the computer continuously or the phone. So now we are having eye issues much sooner. So if we understand how body gets acidity, we'll understand how to heal ourselves naturally. Any food which is not whole will create more acid. To neutralize it, let's say you went and had non-veg, you went and had one day you just thought, I want to have this cold coffee with normal dairy milk, not coconut milk, not almond milk. Okay, how do you neutralize it? By reducing all other cooked foods in the day and adding rest, digestive rest, that is reducing cooked food and adding raw fruits, fruits which is ripe, and salad and juice, and adding physical rest, which is sleeping, resting, and adding mental rest. Okay, don't worry. Now you've had it. Now at least don't have that chapati, that bread with the chicken. Have vegetables because it will take more energy with dense food. Wheat is very dense. Many large fields are cropped for us to make one family's, meal of chapatis. It's not a very small area. So something that is more will take more energy to digest, although apanu compact karta, right? We have made it very small. But is it really small? No, coffee shot, it's not small. It's this much, these many beans is one espresso. Or alcohol is a lot of barley, lot of wheat to make this much drink. Or red wine is a lot of grapes. So that many grapes I can't have easily. I'll have it in batches. Hana? That's why juice also, we can't just duck. Oh, I was on carrot juice and it's so good and I'm duck. No, you have to mix it with the saliva. And it's only for high, I call it hypernutrition. Hypernutrition can help us when we are already on low plant nutrition, which is easy to digest. Animal nutrition, so-called, is very good. But if I need to spend double the calories to digest that 1000, I'm sorry, I'm going to get bankrupt very soon. That means my bones are going to have arthritis because I have acidity all the time because I'm eating food which is not whole, which is not my biological food. Biologically, if a goat comes in front of you and you're so hungry, will you be able to chew raw meat, kill? Will you have the guts to kill also? No, you would, and there's a mango tree, papaya tree. What is your easiest option? Climb the tree and take the mango or the papaya or the orange or the guava or the tomato or the, what else is easier? Not killing a goat or going to the cow or taking so many sesame seeds and starting to make the oil. We'll get tired. Oil is only 90 years old. It was never there in our the machinery and everything. It was a very slow process. If it was there for a few hundred years, and we used to take very less because it was a slow process, it took a lot of energy. The families used to use it only for celebration or to make something store when there is less food and you want to make it store for longer, right?
I can't hear you. It's like you stuck.
Or an imbalance of function, so-called, right? Can you hear me?
There's some the voice is cracking and you're freezing
Internet,
freezing
okay?
again and again.
Is it good now?
It's still the same. Not sure it's my network or everyone.
Now I think it's fine, right? Arshdeep?
Yes.
Yes, great. So any kind of food which is not complete, जो खुद पूरा नहीं है, वो ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ पूरा नहीं कर सकता. Correct? So having whole food, starting the day at least in the morning with whole food. And that whole food is not nuts. Why? Yes. Guava, apple, orange, papaya, watermelon, grapefruit, sitafal, custard apple. What happens in the morning? Body needs a lot of water. We have not been having water the whole night. So in the morning, if you have something which doesn't have water, like nuts or seeds, it will suck your own water in the body. And that water is the water which has minerals. So you don't want to lose your intracellular and extracellular fluids. That's why dehydration is such a difficult thing to handle, because we don't lose only water, we are losing minerals. What happens in the morning is body needs juices, juicy, pulpy, because we are still cleaning, you see. The body has the large intestine is it's in all different angles. So if something is coiled like this, can the thing flow easily out, the material that's inside? No, because it needs a straight pipe, a straight flow. So what happens? We eliminate in 2 or 3 batches. So those who have very good bowel movement will notice they go in the morning twice. And every time you eat food, 4 to 5 hours after that, you should have a bowel movement, because that should be the maximum time in which it's digesting. And why do we want it to stay in the stomach? Then it will ferment, right? So what are we trying to do when we say we are not constipated? We are denying that we are constipated, because we are only seeing once a day is normal. So instead, if we eat fruits which have fiber, fiber is like a jhadu, like a broom. It will clean. Sugar is the energy, that person to use the broom. You need someone jhadu wala bhi chahiye. So it is the sugar, the natural sugar, it is the fiber. And the third thing we need is nutrients, which are very, very available for us. Nutrients are there in everything. Whole foods have nutrients, but something that is bioavailable is always in the raw form, when not always, but certain foods have it available in the raw form. For example, fruits. Vegetables, certain vegetables need to be cooked, like the ones that are starchy, like shakarkandi, sweet potato. Also, brinjal. Certain vegetables need to be cooked to be activated and bioavailable for us. But most fruits, all ripe fruits, in fact, will be very high in nutrients. And in the morning, if you have a good dose of nutrients, you have a good dose of cleaning, you are empty, that's how you'll fill in the nutrients, right? If you're already full, then how are you going to add anything new in your body?
Can I ask about avocados? We were having a discussion last night. Sorry.
Yes. So avocados have a wholeness again, because we are taking avocado, not avocado oil. We are taking the whole of it. So what happens? Body easily digests it. The only thing is that if you need to have more satisfaction and you have more craving for fat, then avocados can help you as a fruit, and nuts can help you as the second food group, which you can combine with your salads or your cooked meal. Because they don't have much water, we want to have it later, not in the morning. And avocados are perfect. You can have in the morning or in the lunch with the salad. Or I really like it as a cream for my cooked vegetables. Instead of using oil, what a great recipe is some roasted almond or cashew. Along with that, crush it, powder it, mix avocado, some lemon juice, some ginger or garlic, and little bit of jaggery if you want, or you can omit it, salt, and a little bit of turmeric powder for color. You can omit that also. So lemon and ginger or garlic add that cheesy flavor. Turmeric will give that cheesy color. And you can easily fool anybody along with your body and mind that you're having like vegan cheese, basically. You'll think you're having regular cheese. And it's very fulfilling. Like instead of avocado, Arshdeep, Anshu, Rita, Kalyani, Dhyana, Kritika, you can have potato, boiled potato, mash it in the mixie with some water and add the powder of cashew or roasted almond. Again, you will get a cheesy sauce. Same thing, lemon, little bit ginger, garlic, or and little bit jaggery if you want, and salt. Hello, hello, hello. So what we can do with our food is make it so yummy that we don't miss eating out. We don't miss, and the cravings are very important road signs of what our body needs. Okay, not initially, like if you're eating McDonald's every day and your craving is of McDonald's, that is not what your body needs. But any salt craving, what your body needs is minerals. And where are the minerals available in the natural kingdom? They are in rocks. But how are they made bioavailable to us? Anyone? Through the plant kingdom, the mineral kingdom. In Vedas, we have learned we can't access the mineral kingdoms. Otherwise, I'll break some rock and just make a powder and just have it. I don't need to pay so much for these, marketing gimmicks of nutritional supplements. But we cannot absorb anything that is not organic, that is not in the plant kingdom. Otherwise, nails, we can just break the nails and just have the iron directly. Chalk we can have directly. We can't absorb it. Similarly, through nutritional supplements, we cannot absorb it. Absorption is not possible. Yes, temporarily it will be in the blood, and temporarily the body will come out of a SOS condition. If it's very low, please take the supplements to fool the body to think, okay, everything is normal, the levels are normal. But after that, start supplementing with whole foods and sunlight. Sunlight activates so many minerals in us. And that sunlight means bare skin. Now, if I go out like this, oh, I'm sunbathing, nothing will go in. Animals don't have a problem because they have bare skin all the time. And there are certain nude beaches and nude colonies, communities that are living like that because they believe that's best for their health. Yes, we'll discuss about diabetes again because I want to cover that topic. Let me finish my presentation. The first thing in the morning the body needs is sweet, is fiber to clean, and is nutrients, and that is encapsulated in fruits. Try to have one fruit at a time. The second thing the body needs, when we have salt craving, we know, what do I need? Minerals. And how do you get minerals? Many tribal societies till today don't use salt. They are using leaves, green leaves. Lots of different plants, trees, leaves give a feeling of salt. So if you use, if like lemon juice with coriander, with palak, with amla, kokum, these all are salt substitutes. If you add these things, you will need less salt. Because again, why salt is not the best kind of nutrient for us is our body is unable to digest directly from the mineral kingdom. Salt is in the form of a mineral kingdom, na? It's a rock. How does our body digest? Through the plant kingdom. Doesn't mean that you make plant bake some vegetables, sprinkle salt on it and say, I'm absorbing it in the plant kingdom. I mean the plant kingdom that's come into the plant kingdom from the roots. That mineral is absorbed directly by the body and assimilated by the body. So minerals or nutritional supplements are not the way that body, rocks and rock salt is not the way body absorbs. So when you have a salt craving, go for carrot juice, put amla in it, put lemon, put some palak or some coriander or some kale leaves or some basil, mint, some green leaves, and add some citrus to make it bioavailable. Because carrots are so dense, body needs that combination is what is working for me, and that's why I'm sharing that. So some or cucumber juice with little bit of lemon, little bit of ginger, little bit of green leaves, or just on its own also. What other juices we can have? Some vegetable juices, or take salads for minerals. Salad has to be with salt or without salt to make it bioavailable. Without salt. Why? Anything that has salt, just sprinkle salt, it starts leaving its water. Arshdeep, if we are taking the vegetable salad for water and we are putting the salt on it and the vegetables are losing the water, then we have lost the game, right? Kritika? So what we are trying to do? We are trying to add the water, the wholeness in the salad and then take it. It's difficult, I know, because I used to take it with a lot of dips, cashew dip, this, that, but it is less nutritious. So to begin with, please have, yes, you can begin with your cashew dip, your peanut dip, your coconut dip for salad. Okay, but slowly and with salt, but slowly let's move to without salt, without any salt, even without biosalt, because the body absorbs it best in that way. Yes, to make our body come out of sodium deficiency, like a heat stroke, like whatever, we can give salt and sugar immediately, that's okay. Coconut water will be better. But it is because coconut water will be directly absorbed into the bones, the storehouse of minerals. But what happens with salt, with sugar, these are coming in the blood, making us feel relaxed and coming out of the emergency mode, but they are not finally assimilated into the body's mineral reserves, because body can only absorb from whole foods, from plants. Correct? So we are trying to understand how to best combine our food, how to best prepare our food, and how to best nourish ourselves for proteins, for nutrients, right? So when we look at our body's need for sugar, So I'm looking at cravings first, then I'll go for the protein, and then we'll do the food combination, then the food preparation. So what happens when we have a craving for sweet? We all have a craving for sweet mostly. It means firstly that we need a certain relaxation in our schedule, that we are really, really overworked. We need to rest. It's the first sign for any kind of sugar craving that you need to rest, sleep, take a bath. Second sign, you need to have something that is naturally sweet, which is a fruit. Then the third thing, to eat the fruit only on an empty stomach. Am I audible, Rita? Yeah, okay, yeah. Now salt craving we covered the sweet craving. What other cravings do we get? We get craving for oily food. I want to have some potatoes which are fried, or some chips, or some samosa. Then what do? What do we understand? What does our body need? When we have oily food craving, our body needs fat, and fat in the form of whole fat, which the body can absorb. Where in nature do we have whole foods with fat? Can you give me any example? Fatty whole foods. Nuts. Nuts are fats. Avocado, which is very high in fat. What else? Seeds. So what we can do when we have a craving for something oily, we can make a seed paste and make a seed hummus or a dip for our vegetables, right? Instead of adding more oil in the sabji, in the vegetable curry, what do we need to add? We need to add more nut paste, seed paste, right? Correct? Just give me 1 second. Sorry. Yes. So when we have a craving for something fatty, we can have nuts which are soaked and made into a paste. We can use it for salad. We can use it for a dip for our vegetables, cooked vegetables, or we can make something for a sandwich, or we can just have the whole nut on its own, or avocado, things that are high in fat. Correct? Now, what is the best time to have nuts and seeds? Because we covered the best time for best thing in the morning is fruits. Is it also a good time to have soaked nuts? Because many people do that. It's not a good time to have soaked nuts. Yes, why? Because nuts are very high in nutrients, very high in all kinds of compact nutrients, dense nutrients. What does the body need to digest something that's dense? Come on, talk to me, tell me. Is it easy to digest something that is dense, compact, highly nutritious?
No.
It needs more
Water.
energy. It needs water. It needs energy.
Water.
Yes, water, energy. And what are we doing in the morning? Are we resting, sitting, and then eating? No, we are walking, running, doing our work, going to work, getting the children ready for work, for school. It's not a time that we have time to sit down. Hence, the meal that needs to be taken with nuts needs to be taken at evening when we can rest, just be relaxed, spend that time, energy, the body can spend that time, energy to digest. Or we can have it in the afternoon if we have 15-20 minutes, half an hour to rest after our meal. The best time is also to have it before sleeping for a very good night's sleep. Almond milk can be taken along with little bit cinnamon or little bit cardamom powder. You can add little bit honey, and just having this instead of your, evening bed tea or whatever, start replacing with this, because the body is getting the nutrients. Of course, it's not whole because we've reduced the fiber, but you can take it with the fiber. Initially, you can sieve it and later mix it well and just take it like a smoothie. The second best way to have nuts is with our salads in the afternoon or before dinner in the evening, because the salad will become more, once in a while you can add, I'm not saying every time. The salad, yes, it's very dark, Swaran, please make it light green. That, yeah, it's too dark. And what did you add in this alkaline drink? Wheatgrass?
Wheatgrass.
Cool.
Wheatgrass.
So what you can do is please add more water. It's very, very dark. And so in the morning, we need something sweet, not so dark.
इसमें मैं कुछ डाल सकती हूँ?
Pani.
नहीं, salt and काली मिर्च.
No.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And what happens in the morning when we have something that is very dark, like have an alkaline drink which is very dark, which is very bitter, as we were discussing, the body goes in 5th gear of digestion. And in the morning, we don't want to spend so much energy, more water. So just, no. You have to make it half, less than half, and add more water and have it very slowly. So light green. So remember the color I posted today, like light green. So the first gear is the gear that is of liquids. Yes, better. Yes, that's it. That's the light green color. And liquids, and hence as we were small, young children, we used to have cooked food in the morning. It was not very good for us, but that's what we did do for many years because we weren't even hungry. So let's not do it for our children or grandchildren. Please allow them hungry stomach before they are asking for food. And please allow a lot of variety of fruits in the morning, and the soaked nuts can be had. See, there are two distinctions that I want to make. Dry fruit is your figs, apricots, raisins, dates. Dry fruits can be had in the morning, soaked or unsoaked, it's your choice. Okay, with your fruit, because the category is fruit, correct? And the nuts, which are soaked or unsoaked, whenever you want to have, is the afternoon or dinner, better dinner, and have it. You can make things with it. You can make dips with it for your vegetables also. That is also a nice way to have cooked vegetables. So I'm going to cover the second thing now. The cravings we did: salt craving, sugar craving, fatty craving, oily craving, right? We've done these. We didn't do oily craving we did, but let's say you have this fatty craving, carbohydrate craving, right? So then instead of going for bread or chapati or rice, try to add more starchy vegetables like potato and sweet potato and other such root vegetables like I guess tapioca also in the South people use. Why? Because these are less dense than millets or grains, right? So if you have something that is taking less energy to digest, it's better for the body. You are still getting that fatty feeling, carbohydrate feeling, and you're taking more vegetables, even if it's got aloo, it's got potato, sweet potato. At least it doesn't have oil. You've made a dip of cashew nuts, dip of sesame, dip with peanut roasted. I'll just share a few dip ideas. And you will feel more satisfaction because body will have to work less to digest this rather than having 4 chapati, 2 chapati or rice to fill your stomach. Okay. So we covered cravings. Now we covered our breakfast. Now, is milk to be taken in the breakfast? No, it's very milk, tea, coffee is very dense, very acidic to digest. And we want to begin the morning with a very fresh note and a lot of energy. So in the morning, and if shall we have cooked food like poha, idli, chapati in the morning? Only if you can sit and digest it. But like yoga cannot be done on a full stomach. You need rest to digest the meal. Any work cannot be done on a full stomach because the blood supply has to go to the stomach. If you are driving, you're thinking, you are walking, multitasking, the blood supply is also multitasked. So the digestion is left incomplete. You have bloating, acidity, farting, fermentation, all sorts of. And then finally, acid in the body, what happens? The bones start corroding and you have arthritis, or the body's own mechanisms, so-called, turn against it and you have autoimmune or other such conditions. So what we want to do, avoid acidity in the body by giving the body less dense food in the morning and more dense when we can rest, which is afternoon or evening. And the gap in the morning, from the morning to the afternoon, will allow the gap, meaning the food gap. So you're only taking in the morning. What are you only taking in the morning? Fruits. So what will the body do with the fruits? It will digest very nicely. Secondly, it will clean very nicely. You'll go to the loo more. So what will you feel? Lighter. And when you eat in a empty stomach lunch, it will digest much better because you have cleaned all the debris from yesterday through the fruit. So give a gap, minimum 2 hours gap between your breakfast and your brunch or your lunch. Breakfast is now only fruits, correct? And slowly increase it to only lunchtime you have your. And yes, if you're hungry again during the day, then have more fruit, but push the cooked food till after 12 p.m. Now, what do you do when 12 p.m. comes? What is the food combination and food preparation? Food combination, have your salad before your cooked meal. Raw always is like a Mercedes-Benz. Raw food goes very quickly. What happens with the cooked chapati or cooked idli or poha or paranthi, dal, anything? It is a rickshaw, cycle rickshaw. It will go very slowly. And if a cycle rickshaw is blocking the road and Mercedes wants to go, what will happen? Honking, irritation, traffic jam, acidity, burning, burping, farting, bloating, and finally the acid will start corroding the bones. And because body tries to alkalize the acid through sodium, the first morcha is by sodium coming in to balance the acid, and then the calcium comes in, and both of these are leached from the bones. because bones are the storehouse of minerals. So what does the body need? An alkaline environment to function, and alkalinity comes with food that is not so dense, that is whole, that has its natural water content, and that is prepared in a manner that is very good for the body. So let's now talk about preparation. So you've combined raw before cooked, always. Even if you are you're very hungry, you really want to have your chapati and you have the salad, so just take the salad before, give 5 minutes gap, then have your cooked, always. Okay, once in a while you mix, that's okay, but you see, this will give no bloating because it will go through the stomach quickly and then the cooked will come. Now the second thing is food preparation. So whole foods, when we prepare, we don't fry them, because by frying, we are adding the unwhole food, which is oil, right? And what does oil do? It will create acid because it needs more energy to digest, or it will make us tired. And what do we want? We want energy for the brain, for the breathing, circulation, elimination, and absorption. So we have a lot of things going on, and repair. So we don't want the energy to get wasted in food which is dense, which is oily, which is taking more energy, like coffee, tea, alcohol, samosa, pakoda, parathi, which doesn't have any fiber. So you want to have food that has more fiber, and that is the plant kingdom. How to prepare this food? So frying is not a good idea. Roasting can be done, solar cooker can be used, steaming can be done, and boiling in water when you don't have a steamer is also okay. But in the water, as you know, all the nutrients will go in the water. So we don't want. Secondly, if you're using the water, it's fine, but you'll see the taste of the food that is boiled in water and the food that is steamed with the steam of that water and not touching the boiling water is very different. And taste is equal to nutrition. If your food is tasty, I don't mean add cheese and all of that taste, but naturally, when you start getting the food difference between broccoli that's dark green in color and broccoli that's light green, overcooked, capsicum that's green, mutter, peas that are green, and peas that are overcooked and are light green now, you'll see the taste is gone, because taste is nutrition. Secondly, you'll see that any kind of food, when you are making it and you are leaving it for too long, the taste is gone. Thirdly, when you're cooking it again, heating it again, the taste is less. Unless it's our traditional, the spinach made in the villages of Punjab, the saag, that is made in such a way that cooking it, heating it again without the, the onion or the tomato, it survives for a few days. That's the traditional way of storage of greens in Punjab. That's okay, but not your dal and not your lentils and your vegetables. If you keep cooking, keep heating it, every time you feel the taste is less and less because the nutrition is less and less. So make the food as soon as you are eating, make it within 2 hours, or don't reheat it, or reheat it only once. I mean, this is when depending on your schedule, but I'm talking about when I used to live in London, we used to be told, and we did it, we used to make the food on Sunday and we used to heat it, freeze it and heat it every day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all frozen because there's no time in the week to make. And it was very elaborately told that this is the best way of managing time is freezing. So that's not what we are doing in India, but I'm just saying that when we make it fresh, it's the best nutritionally if you have that option. Salad, take the raw vegetables with you and cut it only when you have that time, when you are going to eat. Okay, instead of cutting it and thinking it's better, whole 1 tomato, 2 tomato, or 1 cucumber is better than everything mixed up and eating it after 3 hours, 4 hours, nutritionally. And if you notice, children, they will always go for whole cucumber, whole tomato, everything, they'll just go for one. Even the fruit, they'll go for one. They won't say like, I want to have a fruit salad or I want to have a vegetable salad. So that is also how we digest the food the best. Whole and one. Sure. Okay. Bye. So what happens with our food preparation when we are steaming? The food is not overcooked. The nutrition is high. And what happens? The food is tasty. The fourth thing that happens with food that's steamed is the enzymes that the body needs for digestion. They are saved. They are not destroyed. Enzymes are workers that body needs to help in the digestion. These workers are present in raw whole foods, in fruits and vegetables when they are not cooked. So when we are having a salad, we are giving the body the workers, especially before a meal, we are giving the body what it needs to do digestion more efficiently. Because the cooked food later won't have as many as the raw salad in the beginning. Secondly, the cooked food that's steamed and then not over, heated, like you steam the vegetables, you mix it into a pulao in a biryani with the boiled rice or boiled millets, or you are steaming the vegetables and then tossing it in a gravy of nuts. Any nuts like peanuts, sesame. So I'll give some examples. So let's make a coconut dip. Let's take coconut and the coconut that's brown in color that we use in the temples. So break it, check the water. If the water is sweet, that is good to go. Otherwise, that coconut, if its water is bad, then it's destroyed. Take another one. The coconut can be taken with ginger, with some curry leaves. No need to roast the curry leaves, and some salt and some, you can use some cumin powder or coriander powder if you want. Otherwise, curry leaves, coconut, ginger, salt. This is a complete dip in itself. It will be green in color. How you will use it? Boil the vegetables in whichever way you want, whether it is boiled in water or boiled in steamed in a steamer. Then toss the vegetables in this gravy. No need to heat it again. So if you don't have time before eating and you're making it in the morning, but you're going to eat the lunch at 1 p.m., then don't heat the gravy together. Keep the, especially in summers, keep the dip in the fridge, the coconut dip. I'm talking just coconut is not a good fat to be heated. It goes rancid because it's highly volatile, the fatty acids. So don't heat it. Keep it in the fridge. And what do we do with the vegetables that we boil? You can boil it again, especially in a steamer, or put some boiling water on top. Right? So boiling water on top of cooked vegetables and add some coconut dip. That is your one way to heat the food again. Don't heat the coconut dip. Now, how to make different kinds of gravies? Peanut gravy. Roast the peanut. Why roast? Because without roasting, it doesn't get activated. All nuts, all seeds, not all nuts, and peanuts, they need to be roasted or sun roasted. So sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, cannot have it raw. We need to get them activated. Why? Because all seeds have a coating around them to block the germination before they reach the soil. You see, they are meant to be planted in soil as seeds and make a new plant. But if this happens before you have sown it in the soil, then the plant will not survive. Hence, the plant protects it, and it only releases this phytochemical after it has been soaked or it has been sown in the soil. So hence it needs that sprouting process. So what we can do to beat this process, soak the nuts, even the grains. So soaking is very important. Any millet, any wheat, any rice we use, please soak it for 8 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, depending on any dal, how big they are. So we are doing steaming of vegetables, soaking of all grains, all millets, all nuts, all seeds. Not all nuts, like if you want, you can soak, almond, cashew, but almond you can have otherwise also as a snack while you're moving around. Soaking is better because the water content will be replenished somewhat, and definitely that phytochemical will be released. So steaming, soaking, and what is the third thing that will allow better food digestion is sprouting. So you're making dal, you have to make it anyway. So why not make sprouted dal, right? So soak it, take it out of the water, sprout it even 2-3 hours, 4 hours. You don't have so much time. And even if you don't have time to sprout, at least make it soaked. It's very, very, very important. So soaking, steaming, sprouting. And what is the fourth thing that we need is removing the froth. Whenever we are boiling something, what comes out is some kind of froth, which is like a soapy material, right? Because all grains have something called saponin, of some quantity, or different kind of chemicals they have, which we don't need. Remember in the dal and all, we cook, white froth comes and we remove it, right? In the villages, we used to remove. Now in the city cooking, we are just ignoring it, especially pressure cooker, we are totally ignoring it. It's not good for us. So remove the froth. The first is soaking, steaming, sprouting. The fourth is removing the froth, defrothing. And the fifth thing is, whenever we are having any grain, we are adding 80%, 50% vegetables in it. So if it's a roti, we are making a green chapati or a red chapati, beetroot, you can mix it in the mixie raw and then put it in the flour and make the chapati. Palak, coriander, kale, basil. You can cut moringa, moringa, which is sehenjana de patte, moringa leaves. You can cut them. It's better moringa, palak cut, because when we mix it in the mixie, it gets oxidized and the taste and nutrition reduces. So better cutting it very, very small and mixing it in the dough, making your chapati. The fifth thing is always in the grains, make the grains more nutritious by adding more vegetables and water. So if you're making millets or rice, 50%, so let's say 150 grams is your rice. After boiling, it becomes more. And 150 grams, you need vegetables. Okay, so combine this, and then that is your whole meal for your, that's a better way of preparation. And when you combine this millet, shall we take this millet 100%? No, take this millet 30% in your plate and 70% add vegetables, curry. So already before preparation, the millet was 50-50 with vegetables. After preparation, the millet is 30% millet and 70% vegetables. So your plate is much more vegetables than grains. And because grains have less water, because they are acidic, because they don't have fiber, it is always a good idea to have more vegetables in our cooked meals. Correct? So 5 things I've covered for food preparation, and that is steaming and combination. Steaming, soaking, sprouting, defrothing all the white liquid. And the 5th is adding more vegetables to the grains, whether it's a pulao or it's a chapati. Correct? And if after your meal you have rest, that's the 6th point. It's the best way to digest any food. You do not need to go for a walk, as people say, go for a walk, brisk walk, because the blood supply will go into the legs. What do we want? The blood supply to go into the stomach, right? Stomach. So rest. The 6th point is rest. The 7th thing that I can suggest for fruits that are being taken in the morning, please take organic and seasonal, and don't put them in the fridge. Instead, in winters, put them in the sun. You know, in the morning, just leave them in the sun and they'll get warm. And if you can have them when they are warm, or at least put them the whole day in the sun, and by 4 p.m. you can wrap them in some paper, put them in the house. Next day, they'll be much warmer. They won't be so cold. Okay. And another way to have fruits in winters is to sit in the sun and have it, right? So we have covered food combination, food preparation, cravings, and now we are going to cover protein. How does the body absorb protein, right? Protein is best absorbed by the body when it has water, fiber, and it is in the whole form. It has not been reduced by some company and made into a protein powder, because body needs the water that is naturally present in the whole foods to digest it. So now if we say protein from animals is much more superior than protein from plants, yes, it is possible that the plant protein is less superior, less dense in a way than animal protein, but the amount of time we are spending in digestion of the animal protein is beating the purpose of taking the protein, because the amount of time we are spending creates acidity, because we are overexerting the digestive system for long hours. Instead, what do? We take plant protein, which is whole, which has the packaging as nature packaged it, and take it at a time that is the best to take it, right? Everything has protein, because even fruits have protein, but the vegetables or the lentils have more percentage of it. And the best time to have, and nuts have more percentage, but the best time to have foods that are more nutrient dense, mineral dense, like plants and grains and nuts and seeds, the best time to have them is when you have time to rest afterwards, which is your lunch or your dinner. When you have time to sit down after the meal is the best time to have that are high in protein or nutrients. And this is basically the summary of what we had to cover today. So thank you for joining, and there are some questions. Yeah. Okay, so the question is, I have diabetes or I'm a sugar patient. Can I have sweet potato? So yes, you can have sweet potato, you can have your vegetables, you can have your fruits, anything that comes from nature, which is whole, which does not have any things that are not whole, which is oil, which is refined sugar, they will not cause any harm to the body as long as they are combined in the right manner, prepared in the right manner, and eaten at the right time with the right amount of hunger. So we've covered today steaming, soaking, sprouting, defrothing, mixing more fiber and plants in the grains, and having rest after taking food, that is any type of food, even fruits, but with plants, with cooked food and taken in the afternoon or evening, and nuts, it's important to take more rest because they are more dense and need more energy to digest. So thank you for joining. If there are no more questions, we'll end the session. Okay, great. Thank you. Bye.